Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode with the Comic Menu with one of your co-hosts Dale and Caesar's in the background. Um, man, I like the the intro. That's courtesy to our friends from the Climate McDonald's. Aaron, thank you very much. It's been awesome. I really enjoy this. We've got a good show for you. I'm gonna bring up Caesar already. Caesar.
Hey, here I am. We're gonna have a good one tonight, man. We have an old friend coming back to the. We had him on the old podcast, but he's going to be on the first appearance on the new podcast, Mr. Kirkham.
What's up? What's up, Will? Yes, if you don't know, Sean has been with Skybound for about 12 years. He's not related to Robert. Just giving you a heads up for those that don't know, because I know he's going to be asked a lot.
All the time.
But he's been with the company for 12 years. He started with them for, well, obviously 12 years, right? And he's been there with the build up, especially with Invincible, with the boys. Now he's just, like he said, he's just being laid back, chilling, relaxing. And we're going to ask him questions, obviously, what he's doing now, how was in the past. And then we are going to bring up Ahsoka. That's it, right?
Wow!
There on the first
Damn it,
try.
on the first try, even.
First try. We are gonna
Ahsoka, huh?
we are gonna bring that up. We're gonna talk about episode 1 through 4 because I know 5 is fire and we don't want to kill
No,
anything.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Even Mr. Clutch watched it all just
Oh,
for
no
us
shit.
because yeah, he did. And we'll talk and see, poke his brain and see what's up. Without any further ado, oh,
Yeah. Okay, we kind of ran in the act.
so when I first saw him, I was like, man, you remind me of Thor's cousin. Look how he looks. He looks majestic.
You can call me Odin if you want.
Wow.
Come on.
Only
We're
on
crossing
Wednesdays, pal. Only on Wednesdays.
I like this.
Oh, what not? Yeah.
What's up,
So-
guys? I got to tell you that intro, man. I'm sitting there going, I should have ate dinner before this. I should have ate dinner before this. Those steaks look good.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Well, yeah, no joke. That's a legit intro. We get a lot of good compliments on that. And so, Sean, how you doing, man? You look at you.
I'm great, man.
Huh?
I'm so excited to be. Thanks for having me back. I was really stoked. I mean, the wild thing was like, I think we talked. Del, you hit me up like months ago, right? You're like, this
Oh
is like
yeah.
Oh, we're booked.
June
We're
or
booked.
something. Like May. You're like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, cool. And he's like, September, and I was like, we're gonna be. Is like the world gonna be around in September? Who knows? But thanks for having me on. This is actually great timing. There's so much like in the works, and it's really exciting time. So super cool.
Before I answer Will's question, the reason I wanted to get you ahead of time too is because I knew it was con season. You know, all these cons were coming up, and the last thing I wanted to do was interrupt you at a con. Like, oh, I'll try to make it. No, I'd rather have you when you're free. I check the cons. Like, you know what? Maybe you won't be here anywhere anytime soon. So it was perfect. And then, yeah, I've been wanting to make sure we do have a list set up and wanted to get some good guests. So Will's had a question. What the fuck is Dale saying? Everyone looks like someone just because they have same color. Ooh, twins. Will, look, if
That's
you saw him,
racist.
Will, if you saw him last time to right now, though,
Yeah.
there's a big difference. I
Wow.
swear.
This guy's
That was
lighter.
way fat.
He's lighter.
My face, I look at those pictures of my face, I was just like, it wasn't like because I lost a ton of weight after being in the hospital, but it was like my stuff, it was like I still, when I smile, I squint, you can't see my eyeballs, but like you can kind of see them a little bit more now when I smile. It's very funny.
There you go. That's one for you there.
Oh, Andrew,
Oh my god, this guy.
you have to wait until November 3rd for the Ultramites to come out, I believe.
Yeah, he's a big Invincible fan. And speaking of Invincible, that book is picking back up again. It's hot as hit. It's hard to keep them off the shelves. As you well know, Sean, or maybe you forgot, I don't read. So I live vicariously through people that do.
It's good.
And plus it's easier. I just tell them, hey, so what's going on?
So now talking about that, I
you know,
actually
comic fans, these dudes love to talk, so they'll just like blah, 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 blah.
no. So now we're actually getting people asking us to review, and I wanted to review. Russell's on here. He has a book named Psycho Sal, and I did buy some stuff from Kickstarter, so we can have stuff so we can go over and read over. So we are going to read that. I'm actually going to send you some information so you can read Caesar. I got your package, by the way. Hey,
Oh,
what's
you
up,
did?
Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Oh, Joe over here is actually making a documentary about comics. So The great guy.
That Joe. Yeah.
The great guy to talk to would be this guy.
Ah, that's right.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Actually, if you want to talk to someone who's as some of you guys may not know, when we spoke to Shawn last time, he was still with Skybound, but as of February of this year, he said, "You know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to actually enjoy my locks, enjoy my girlfriend, enjoy my dog, and just enjoy life."
Yeah, man.
And,
12 years there was wild. It was a great time. Like I was second employee. I think I've said it a bunch of times over the years, but like to be there ground floor working with Robert and the team over there was such a wild, amazing time. And so yeah, being on my own it feels a little weird, like I'm just like, what do I do? Who do I answer to? And it's like nobody.
It's
Your
but
girlfriend?
there's gotta your dogs.
That's true.
Hey Robert, but Shawn, there's got to be that. Okay, let's just say maybe the first week or the second or even the third, you're like, it feels weird, right? Because there's no structure. There's no waking up and going through the rigmarole of walking in the building and okay, what do we got going on today? You wake up and you're like, all right, so shit, what now?
It's weird because like I gotta say, like sadly, like COVID prepared me for it. It was like, we're working from home the entire time, and Skybound didn't go back to the office, and I think they're still everyone's remote. So it was like I was like, oh cool, like I got this. I can wake up at 8:30, go do whatever. The dog helped me keep a schedule though, because like the puppy's like. He's like, it's 6 o'clock. I'm licking your face. Let's go for a walk. And I'm like, dude, I just want to sleep, bro.
I know. There's a reason why. One of the reasons. Right. One of the reasons why I left. I want to sleep
on your
in.
floor.
Yeah. I know. But it's weird. It's a weird transition for you.
Yeah, and it's been, I luckily enough that my girlfriend and partner, we've been together for 13 years, so it's like, but she's freelance too, so we both have very like loose schedules and stuff, and being able to like force yourself to kind of like, I got to do this thing today. I have a couple good guys that I consider like my mentors in the comic space. And John Jesperson is one, JJ's Comics and Art. He's a guy that's always been like, if you got one task today, it's to put 10 things up on eBay.
Oh, okay.
Do 10 things a day. You don't have to do it on the weekends, but like every day, just give yourself some. I don't do it. But it's a good mental thing. Like I know I got at least to do.
But it's on the board.
It's on the board.
It's on the board.
Oh, he will, man. It's always something with Will. He's a funny guy, but he thinks that what it is, or appreciate it. I actually was gonna ask you. It was like one of the questions we had talked to, because you used to be a big guy and whatnot, selling and making these extravagant mystery boxes and stuff like that, and now you're in eBay doing eBay sales. How is it different? What are the pros and cons on both sides from your perspective?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Whatnot was such a God, how do we say this? Whatnot was I got to be the first person to ever sell a comic book on the platform. So when Skybound first started dealing with Whatnot, they didn't do anything in the comic space. I got to be like the first person to sell a comic, and it was really cool. And I was doing Comics All Live, which was our own proprietary thing. So it was like that was kind of more the focus, and Whatnot was like a side thing. And then it just started to kind of be equals while I was at Skybound. And that was really cool. I enjoyed Whatnot a ton. It was great in the early days, and then it is still, and it's so wild because there's so many sellers. So many buyers. It's like things are so weird. I've noticed there are things that I like and I don't like about it, right? And I think you guys all seen it. Mystery boxes. We had a good time with those, but then you see how that gets abused, whether it's in the cards or comics or whatever. And so like stuff's a little, it's just a little bit wishy-washy. I don't know. It's strange to say. Like I don't love it, but I still do it because I think when you build your community on there and you get your followers and stuff, and it's like, this is good. Like I got the guys, I got the folks who are going to come to my stream every time. I'm not getting, I don't have a lot of ancillary people that just kind of roll through my stream because I'm giving away a ton of stuff all the time. And I'm just like pumping out stuff. And it just here's like, they know that, hey, I want to come and get some cool Skybound stuff or some rare stuff that have been in my vault or whatever. And so I do that. So that's great. So I like Whatnot to that space. the eBay Live is a really interesting thing because that just is it's in beta right now. So the landscape is very different because there's only, I don't know, there's probably a dozen comic sellers on there right now. There's not a lot of people who've been onboarded. They're kind of building stuff out really, really slowly, very deliberately. They're trying to do things the right way. Also, like eBay is a very, like, you know, they're established. They've been around for like 30 years. Like, they know what they're doing. They know what their brand is. They don't allow mystery boxes for the most part.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think they canceled mystery. Like, there was a mystery box thing, like I want to say 10 years ago, and they were like, they shut that down. So they're trying to, the team over there is really like, they're listening to everybody who's you know, all the sellers who are on there, like guys like A&Z Comics and Jesse James Comics and Webster's Vaults and Hive and Unknown and KRS, like a lot of really like big sellers are on there doing stuff. And so they're taking their time to make this right. And I think in the long term, it's going to be good. The interesting thing is now is there's not a lot of settlers. So
right.
You're able to go on there and you've got the audience. The audience comes to you and they're like there because they're not, you don't have to compete with, you don't have 20 people on at 7:00 at night. You've got one or two.
Right.
Once it picks up, I think that's where you're going to see, you know, once the gold rush is there and everyone's going to come and try to stake their claim and get their stuff. So it's going to be a very interesting, like, it's going to be interesting the next, you know, whenever they launch it. I'm not sure the dates are, but I assume within the next 6 months, it'll be like out of beta and it'll be rolling. So,
real quick before I see there, I'm sorry. So this is our third member, Greg. He's part. We actually have, so it's me, Caesar, Greg, and then we have Onwu as an artist, and then we did a sub part of the comic menu, which is movie reviews with Shannon, Kincaid, and Mandy. So we just, how we told you, we've been exploring or exploding. We've been doing different things. But Greg, he's our content guy. He's always putting in stuff about comics. If you have questions, he's got answers.
Yeah.
So I want to make the proper introduction for Greg because he's just dipped in out of nowhere.
Greg?
Yeah, Greg's cool, man. Greg's one of those guys that he's the one that says this comic dropped and the price in 2021 and now the price now, blah, 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 blah. He has the numbers. He puts all the numbers up. And people love that shit because something about the fluctuation that either makes people cry or makes people happy, right? So it's happy for the buyers, crying for the ones who bought it at $5,000 and now it's worth $1,000.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, great.
So you
What's
have
up, guys?
So you want, Greg, you got any questions for Big Clutch real quick?
Not off the bat. I was kind of listening.
They'll come to you at some point. I'm here. Yeah. We're not going anywhere.
So I was going to ask you, Shawn. So do you think eBay for a while there was kind of taking a seat back and learning the using whatnot as the we're definitely not going to do that. We're definitely going to do maybe that, but we're not going to do that.
I would assume so. I mean, it's, you know, they've, you know, like I said, like they've been around forever. And so they know their business model and they want to, you know, it's like, let these guys see how it goes and they can step in the potholes and you can kind of figure it out and make it better. And I think that's what their plan is. And so, you know, Whatnot has done a lot of good things and they've done some bad things and they keep learning and they keep evolving and it's really good. Like team over there, it's like I got friends who work over there and people who are, you know, really involved with the day-to-day, and it's great to see what they're pulling off. So it's you know, eBay's gonna do the eBay thing. It's not gonna be Whatnot, it's gonna be eBay Live. And I think that's gonna be really cool.
It's funny you say that. So Greg has an eBay store, and Greg, you've been selling on eBay for how long now?
About 20 years. About 20 years or so.
It's amazing.
So he's been, so if Greg ever was to go and sell on eBay, are you planning on selling on eBay, Greg?
Live, yeah. I've applied. I haven't heard back yet, but I have applied to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Then he already has that, like, I've been doing this shit for 20 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great. I think sellers who have that type of longevity and you know, knowledge and all that stuff, I think that's a thing that kind of really sets things apart. I think there's, not to knock it, but there's a lot of people who just like have come into comics the past couple of years, and they're just like, cool. I see there's, the pandemic gold rush, and everyone's like, oh, cool. Like I'm going to flip stuff, and I'm going to take this, especially with the card space, right? So cards is like, cool. I'm going to just flip cards, and I'm going to make $1 billion, and it's going to be amazing. Like the comic space is a little different, right? It's our ecosystem is a lot. It goes back decades and decades, and that quick flip stuff, it's fine, it's there, but that when you look at, I was talking to Chris Rupp the other night, and so when you look at a collection comes in, you're like, cool, like this variant that a person bought for $30 like 3 years ago, it's only worth $4 now. Like it doesn't hold its value on certain things, and so you have to really be careful with what's what. So
The funny thing is, we're not only in Dell can say that we're not only comics, because we've been having our shows have been all over the place, and not too long ago. And I always forget their name, Dell. What's the name of the card?
Oh, Josh Estel from Vortex Breaks.
Vortex, yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
so we came on. We learned a shitload about cards. I'm not a card guy, but man, oh man, down to the grading and the way they slab it and what they look for and all that. So I'm pretty sure that the card section as well on eBay will probably take off as well. Why not?
Yeah, there's a lot. They're the main categories they have right now on eBay Live are, I think it's toys, coins, and comics. And I think they're going to be opening up more card stuff down the line. They just did a big thing at the National, and then they did at Gen Con as well. So like Magic and gaming cards, MetaZoo,
the Lorcana just recently came out. I don't know if I say it right. That right now has been blowing up. It's already sold out, and that was the first edition. Second edition comes out in November. I'm learning as I go too. But the flippers are what make you look bad, because they're buying at price, and then you're going to see them on eBay or wherever at like triple the price. That's what I was seeing, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can buy some for my kids. And then like, nah, I'm gonna have to like buy a booster pack one of these days, and that's it. We can't open a box, and we're gonna have to open a booster pack.
Yeah, Lorcana is a really interesting one too. Like that, just the hype on that one. It's been, since he announced it, it was like, this is going to be the big one. And oh my gosh, I still have a lot of friends who work in the game space, and just seeing what they're like, I put in my pre-order, and it was 6 figures in their pre-order of their store, and you're just like, wait, you ordered how much product? Like that's insane. And they sold it all, and it's gone. Like you said, like it's sold out everywhere, and
it's crazy because Greg, this is one of the reasons why we also have this guy. Not only because he's the second best looking guy here, but the thing is that the thing is too is that this guy collects games, consoles. He collects the graded cartridges, right? He does it all that stuff he has, and a lot of it's for his PC, and a lot of it he actually goes out, does the hunt, finds them for the cheap, and then he flips them on eBay. I mean, that's what you guys do. But I never realized how big the gaming is also for collectors. The boxes and I mean, I've learned a lot from Greg, and he makes his post. I'm like, wait, how much? Hold on, wait a second. How much is that game worth? And I'm going, I used to have 3 of those, and lost 2 of them. It sucks.
It's talking about them grading games, right? They're also starting to grade, or they're talking about grading pops, Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to take care of the edges of the pop, right? And it's not just the pop itself; you have to take care of the box.
The plastic.
So the way they ship it to you, you got to be mindful of who you buy it from, where you buy it from, and then look at like, hey, let me know how are the edges on here? Is there any scratches? How is the little clip when it opens up? If it's an intact, is it ripped? There's a lot of stuff people in collections like Greg have to take care of, because I only collect comics and some cards, and that's it. So that's my bread and butter. 1 or 2 things. He has a multitude of things. And look behind you, like there's stuff behind you that would have been worth more if you had left them in packages. I'm not saying it. I mean, that's your PC stuff, obviously, but people have been like, you know what? If he had just left it in there, he probably would have made X amount of money. And like Beanie Babies, like, oh, what was that show season we watched? Everybody watched.
You guys saw it's the Golden Touch or something like that. Golding on Netflix.
Oh, the Golden Auction show. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Great. If you haven't seen touch. Well, I don't know what's called Touch of Gold or whatever it is, the Golding thing, and his auction. He did a whole Beanie Baby part, and this guy had every single Beanie Baby from everything, and then they had a professional come in who grades them, and then you start learning. Well, it depends the way they sit. Do they droop? Does the neck go over to the side? I'm going,
Yes,
holy
I only assumed like if their stitching was off place or the color was dim. Those are with my head, but there's so much that go into it too. I'm like, you know
absolutely.
what? I'm gonna stick to what I know.
I mean, listen, my wife, who gives two shits about what I do and about all this stuff, she was sort of interested because there's an interest that piques a person going, hold on, wait a minute. What? Depends on how the Beanie Baby sits. It's outrageous. It's crazy.
Yeah, and going back to the video games, which is funny now, you were mentioning how a lot of these are opened. So people are actually pressing boxes now. So you can fold the box down, put it in and press the box just like comics. So I have a press here. I'm toying with it myself, pressing the boxes, and some of them are coming out pretty good.
Wow. Can you believe that? Hey, buddy, I'm going to send you 14 flat boxes of Funko box. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're doing it with video game boxes, Funko boxes. You know, I was at the Kevin Eastman signing, what was that, 2 weekends ago, and there was someone that came in with there's probably like 30 or 40 Funko boxes. They're all folded down, and all the pops were gone from them. So they were just signing just the boxes. And, I mean, it's smart if you can get it back in there to make it look new. More power to you. You can carry a lot more.
So you're telling us, Shawn, that you were at SDCC. You're still in the cons, right? How was San Diego Comic-Con to you?
Oh, San Diego this year was amazing. It was amazing. It was such a good show. I think a lot of that helped that the actor strike was going on, so the studios didn't have a lot of stuff there. It felt like an older, San Diego, where people were on the show for their
what's
lives.
Supposed to be, right?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Yeah, it was really cool. Like vendors, like all the friends at booths and all this stuff, they said they were doing great. Their sales were off the charts compared to years prior. Like it was a really good vibe, and I think the fans felt like everyone's really excited, and it was nice to be there without masks on. A lot of people got COVID though, but it was really cool to risk it.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, Dale and I, we've had people on who've been there, and they said it was weird, maybe because the big Marvel wasn't there and all the actors, but it seemed like it was still packed. It was uber packed because everyone's going.
Like Marvel still had they still had their booth there, and the team that runs it, and D'Alessio and all those guys, and it was packed. I stood in line for those Marvel shoes that came out that they dropped out, the X-Men shoes. I stood in line to get those. And
those were awesome.
Those are great. Yeah. And then, they had a ton of stuff, but they just didn't have it in the big Hall H, they didn't have the trailers, all that stuff. And it didn't feel like it was super lacking, So, I know that there's people who are there, they go to con for, the movies and the TV show stuff, but those of us who are I'm there for the comics and I'm there for the collectibles and shit like that. It was good. So
it is funny that I don't do cons very much, but I've done 2 this year, and I kept on hearing how the books are overpriced at cons, right? They're and I didn't see a difference, to be honest, because I went into a couple of them it's not that overpriced. It's almost the same as if I was to go on
eBay.
It doesn't.
The thing is that some people don't understand is that you're paying prices for a book at a con, and you don't have to pay the con entrance to go get it. You're like, how much was a ticket for? Oh, well, obviously, I don't think you had to pay for a ticket, Shawn, but I know there were.
Oh, they weren't cheap. 400, 500 a night.
Yeah, I think it's $350 for the full weekend pass. And then when you add in hotel and meals and all that stuff, going to shows are really expensive, and cons. I think weirdly enough, a lot of smaller cons prices are usually inflated. You find a lot of guys they also they put their I don't want to sell at price on most things, right? And so it's you got to figure out like there's a little bit of the haggle, and you're gonna dicker with them a little bit and try to get the price down a little bit. But yeah, I've gone to shows where it's like I've seen both sides. Right, you one of the ones you're like, this guy's insane for the price he's trying to ask for this, and then you go to a show and it's like, I was at Comic-Con Revolution in May, and there was a booth, and they were just like, I was like, this is the best deals I've ever seen. We were just scooping up books for, and he's like, oh, cool. If you have a stack, I'll give you like another 10% discount. Oh, your stack is that big? Cool. Another 20%. You're just like, I just got basically 50% off this gigantic stack of books. And like,
plus you're not paying for shipping. You're not paying. They don't really tax you, unless you're,
if it's a cash deal, like they don't
if it's a
even
cash deal, whatever. So technically, you would be saving money by not paying for certain stuff. Now we all know that eBay, they feed the hell out of you, and that's why a lot of people are like, they don't like eBay because, hey, I just want a book for $100, but it cost me $150 because of the shipping and the fees and everything else. I didn't really get a deal. Well, you kind of did, because you probably would have paid $150 for that book anyways, on top of the fees. So it all depends on how you see things, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. The everything is always like, I as a seller and a buyer, it's you see both sides, because I'm like, I'm so glad, man, eBay takes care of like the taxes and I don't have to worry about that, and they do all these things like that I don't have to figure out on the back end. It's like, cool, I'm done. But like I do get it, like when I'm trying to buy a book, I'm like, cool, that book is 100, and I'm like, how did it jump to 145, 150? You're like, oh my god,
right,
ridiculous.
But another question I was going to ask is, since now you have more free time, and you've been catching up with all these movies that have been coming out and TV shows and stuff?
It's tough, man. I'm sure you guys too, like with your partners, your wives or whatever, like our schedules are a little bit off. We have very similar tastes, but then sometimes we have dissimilar stuff. So like when there's a show we both want to watch, we try to watch it together. And then it's like, all right, cool. Like if I know she's not going to want to watch this show, like I'll watch that one by myself, but then I got to wait to watch the show we want to watch together. So there's just so much, and it's just fudge, man. There's just so much out there, and it's like we're in this amazing time for people who love genre films like superheroes or crime or science fiction. Like it's just everywhere, and every channel, every streaming network has got something. I'm like, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. I want to watch that. And I probably, if I was to write it down, I'd probably have like, just like pages and pages of stuff that I need to catch up on. And I'm just like, if I don't watch it in 6 months, I'll never watch it. And
well, that answer was better than the last time we asked you. I remember you said, I don't have time to watch anything. Yeah.
No, it's good. We get to do stuff now. And it's like, we've got, I think, what are we watching? Ahsoka was actually, I had to crash that one because we hadn't watched it yet, and I had to tell her, I'm like, hey, I gotta catch up. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, gotta watch it for the podcast.
It's homework.
I crammed it in. She's a little upset, but I was like, all right, we'll watch it because it's so good. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but I'm just telling guys, the show's awesome.
That's the next thing we're gonna talk about for sure.
Yeah, we just caught up on a bunch of movies. Like we saw Oppenheimer late. We saw Barbie late. God, what other TV shows? We love. Have you guys watched After Party?
No.
It's on. I think it's on Hulu. It's a comedy. Chris Lord and Tim Miller did it. They actually did like the Lego movies. They're and stuff. But it's like Tiffany Haddish is in it, and it's it's such an interesting. It's like a crime show, but it's a comedy, and each like each person who's a suspect tells their story, but in the way of a movie. And so every episode is filmed like a different movie style.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's so cool. Fun, and it's a really good show. And so we just got done watching that one. That was really good. I think we're trying to.
Did you watch Flash?
Opposites. Wait, which one?
Did you watch Flash?
I did.
Okay, well, me and Caesar talked about it. Okay, me and Caesar talked about it. We haven't heard Greg's perspective yet, and yours. So before I get to yours, just Greg, what is your perspective? Have you seen the movie Flash?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't watched the full thing yet. I know. But
what are your thoughts of it? What you've seen?
I mean, Michael Keaton. That makes me want to see it just from that. So I do want to see it. But I've heard so many bad reviews. To be honest, I was ready to go see it when it was in the movie theater.
Mhm.
Ended up seeing Mario Brothers instead because of the reviews. So I ended up taking my kid to go see Mario Brothers instead when I had a plan to go see Flash. It's kind of funny, but Mario was good.
that it was. So we have another review for you, and let's see if this can either motivate you or just keep you away from Flash. Shawn, what are your thoughts?
Oh, man, it was a hot mess. But, no, like there were moments like the Michael Keaton stuff. Like there was that one fight scene with him. I was like, this is the most epic shit I've seen, and I was so stoked. Love the Supergirl stuff, was really cool. Some of the Flash stuff was all right, but like it was real messy. A lot of it didn't make sense. And I get why, like, you know, like we all know the background stuff, like, hey, they're trying to put this together with like duct tape and bubble gum, and like, you know, how is this going to fit into the whole thing going forward? Like just bad timing across the board. But I do think it could have been a much better film. But there were moments, and like those, and that's honestly, I'm one of those guys where like, if you give me like, I mean, not going to say much, but you know, all I need is a couple minutes and I'm good. But like, I just need a couple minutes, and there was those moments where like that got me through the whole film, like just those Keaton bits and whatever. It's like I was like, that is so cool. I can forgive a lot of the other stuff.
How about the Nicolas Cage bit?
I was so excited. I kind of wish there was more, because I was like, give me the spider. Like I want it all. Just give me.
So you can forgive the CGI.
It was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, this is it. I know they said, oh, it was intentional. I'm like, no, you guys like ran out of budget. It was not polished. But like, but it's also like, okay, cool. Like being able to see Keaton, if you guys had to pay all the money or that CG of the whatever the Zeotrope stuff they were doing, if all that money had to go to get Keaton on there, I'm cool. Great, you got Keaton on there. I don't care about anything else. Like.
But the funny thing is that I just saw the trailer, not the trailer, but the teaser for Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
That just the little teaser or trailer already looks better than Flash. I hate to say it when it comes to CGI.
Sure.
You know, because when they showed Flash trailers for the first time, they didn't show all the shit that we hate. They showed all the cool parts of the CGI that was not too bad looking, right? So they're like, we're going to show you where they do the lightning goes through them. That was kind of cool. And when they touch heels, that's kind of cool. But they don't show you the babies. They don't show you the faces. They don't show you the really bad Nicolas Cage and Superman. Henry Cavill. It's just. But you're right. This whole bullshit about that's the Speed Force and that's what he sees in there. That's fucking
I think what I hated the most was that obviously we've read the Reddit or we've seen the animation of Flashpoint, and in that animation movie, it was a cool scene where Thomas Wayne obviously is the Batman, right? In the other alternate universe, but there's a letter it comes from Thomas Wayne, and he fixes, right? Flash fixes his stuff, but he has a letter from Thomas, gives it to Bruce, and Bruce reads it. It's the letter from his dad to him, and there's a moment where you can have a human connection with Batman, like he's actually crying, right? Because he doesn't show emotion. He can be a funny dick at times, but that's it. But when he shows emotion, like, damn, man, he's been through a lot. You can see why this is that. That was a missed opportunity in my eyes, right? You could have easily made this movie 10 times better with a couple of scenes added from Flashpoint, or at least set it up for a better movie, because I think we had a conversation about Batman Beyond in the future. So that would have been awesome.
Oh, he would be Michael Keaton as a old Batman would be perfect.
It'd be pretty great. You actually brought up a really interesting point. Like I think people really slept on all the DC animated stuff that had come out in the past like 5-10 years. Like there are so many good freaking cool like they're taking these stories and they put them in there, and it's like I'm like, I didn't know this was coming out, and then you watch it, you're like, this is amazing. Like they've done such a good job with that animation side. It's like so surprising that they couldn't get their stuff together for the live action.
We all agree on the animation from Warner Bros. The DC animation blows Marvel animation out the water. As a matter of fact, I don't even like the Marvel animation.
Some of it's all right.
The DC stuff is even the stuff that just comes in and out. Even that's good, right? But for some reason, the challenges they have to make a strong DC movie that makes you want to watch it over and over and over again, or have it in the background when you're cleaning the house or whatever the fuck it is, they just can't do it. And it's mind-boggling. Though I do like the Zack Snyder verse better than the other one. That I do agree on.
Just leak. Okay, but
This guy out of here.
You're correct about the animation, right? Another thing that DC is improving to my standards is their shows, right?
Yeah.
They cut some of them off, but this last one I think was
Titans.
No, not Titans. Oh, Titans was a good one.
Titans was good.
Oh yeah, they were good. But I'm talking about
Doom Patrol's good.
Oh my God, the guy from Suicide Squad, he was just on there. Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Yeah.
That show was surprisingly good.
Yep.
From the beginning, you see the dumb intro, right? Of all the dancing with the eagle, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, as long as I skip this, I can watch the rest of the show because it's a good show. And and John Cena is a wrestler, right? And he's doing good as an actor. I think compared to all the actors that came from wrestling, he's top tier. He's better than The Rock, in my opinion.
No, I like Bautista. You
Oh,
can't
I
Bautista.
He's out of this world, man. That guy is.
Bautista's out of the world.
Greg is like this. Okay, what, Greg? Who do you think is the best actor from the wrestling?
Hulk Hogan.
I love the Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
Macho Man Randy Savage in Spider-Man. That's
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Batista's a really good actor. But I love The Rock.
Yeah. But it's just that he's The Rock in literally every Rock movie. He really is the same. He was Black Adam the way he was in the fucking Jungle Book or the
Fast and the Furious.
Like Vince Vaughn, the same in every movie, right?
Walking Tall too. He was the same person.
I wanted Black Adam to just be like, it's for the family. And you're just like,
no! Get this guy out of here.
Tied into the Fast series, and then you get to see Black Adam versus Hobbs, and you're just like, this is all I wanted ever. Just introduces himself.
I wouldn't be surprised if they would do that, especially if they knew money was going to be. I would have watched it for shits and giggles.
Yeah, they'd sell more movie tickets that way for sure.
Absolutely,
for sure. And that's the whole thing too, is that they said this is the last Fast and Furious, but if the money was there, they would make another one. And it's just the way it works.
It's a last movie
with walkers and in wheelchairs, like on the moon, and that I'm out of that point.
On the moon.
So they'll probably be like, this is the last movie, but it's a 10-part movie. So is it 10 movies?
Is it really? Is there 2 parts?
No, I think it said, honestly, I think I heard it was 2 parts, but I can be mistaken.
Yeah, last movie, but there's 18 parts in the last trilogy. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Makes me think of the Expendables. Expendables is coming out with another movie, aren't they?
That's right. They are.
I will watch the Expendables because I'm a sucker for old 80s. Now they're not old because now they're bringing in other people too, right? But
sure.
Who doesn't want the old? When the Expendables first came out, the very first one, it was the shit because it had all these old guys from the 80s going, wow, look at this, right? I mean, this is pretty good. They went number 2, and you're like, all right, it's okay. Then they bring Jet Li, then they brought in this, and they brought in Dolph Lundgren, and I was like, you know what?
So I have another thing to add. And real quick, Mark, what's up, Mark? Another great guy with another great podcast. Thank you for stopping in. We're bringing these action stars, and then we bring in 50 Cent in this next Expendables, which, I mean,
is he yoked up 50 Cent, or is he skinny 50 Cent?
He's pretty big.
Oh, okay.
I saw their trailer. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be talking because he was playing a cop in a couple of movies, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done some stuff.
He's been an actor. I mean, good.
Sure,
and he produces a bunch of different TV series too, like what's the name of
Isn't that Power? The Power
series.
There we go.
Look at Shawn, Mr. I don't have enough time to watch TV.
Hey man, I live in LA, man. You can't go past a billboard without seeing these guys everywhere.
That is
man.
true.
Like on the 405, the 405,
405,
when you get to the 105, when you're near LAX, man, the power billboard, like Stars owns that building or something, and it's like every time it's up there.
What you trying to say? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Greg.
I was saying, Power's a pretty good show, really well written.
As soon as Shawn was talking about the 405 and the 105, have y'all seen the Californians
Of
on
course.
the Saturday Night Live?
How do you not see the California?
Oh my gosh.
The thing is that it's even funnier because the people who live there, the Californians hit the spot because, I'll give you an example. Here in New Mexico, you can only say 40 or 25. But in LA, it is literally the 5 to the 101 or to the 110, the 10, the 110 to the 5 to the 2 to the 2 to the. It is no joke. It is so.
Yeah, you were in North Hollywood, so like you were like that is
the
there's like
134, the 101,
right in that
the
little
10,
block. Yeah,
the 5.
it's crazy.
Drive a little bit further, you get the 405. It's the California. It's what are you doing here? You know, I took the 5 to the 10 to the 110.
5 days ago. So I was like, as soon as he said the 105, as soon as he passed the 405 and then hit the 105, I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's
It is
funny.
true.
Yeah, I like that.
It's very congested. How much is gas there now, Shawn? By the way.
Oh my god, I went by one. God, where was I today? We were up in Marina Del Rey because where we have a vet up there, and it was 649 at one of the places.
649.
I was like, I will walk.
Wow, that's
640. Wow,
yeah,
that's my
most
favorite.
places it's like the low 5s right now. So
let's watch a little clip.
Anymore. Like to Ventura. Next one, the Californians.
I'm glad you came over, Devin.
Why too?
Maybe you should get going before Stuart gets home.
All right. I was thinking I'd take Candy View Drive over to San Vicente, and then make a left and go 405 north. From there, just get off Mulholland.
Totally like that.
So true, right, Shawn?
Hey, honey, I brought us some tangerines. This guy was selling them on the off ramp over by the 2. What are you doing here?
Stuart, why are you home so early?
I skipped Wilshire and took Beverly over to Santa Monica and took that all the way up.
Yeah, I just came over to fix the speakers, the outside speakers on the patio. I think they sound pretty good. How was work?
Poor guy. So it is true, people.
it's so true.
If you never lived in LA, or you're gonna go visit, even if you've gone to like Disneyland to go take the family, you're gonna take the 5 to the because it's the 91 to the. It's a fucking.
What if anyone ever took that? Sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
I'll watch the Californians for reference so I can get my directions.
Yeah, you know what? They're off. Sometimes they're off a little bit, but the funny thing is that show, I don't think it's as funny if you're not from there or don't know anything about LA. If you don't know nothing about LA, it won't be as funny.
I think it's probably like there's probably 2, right? There's like the people in LA who are like, oh, that's funny because I know what they're talking about and that I know some of those people, and then the other people who are outside, they're just like, no, Californians are stupid, and that's what I think a Californian is.
Right.
And it's like they're both funny. It's both very true.
They're all blonde. They all talk like this. You know, that's California.
And it's one thing I think I would say as a person who's like, I've been in LA for like 23 years, and you were, how long were you out here, Cesar?
49 years.
40. Okay, so like when we consume media, and we talked about Barbie earlier, and so like movies like Barbie, the show 24, when I watch a movie and I see them like Barbie, we're like, oh, we're in Century City, and oh, we're gonna go off to the beach, and I'm like, mother effer, the beach is not that close to Century City. You're a liar. There's no way. And like I get upset, and or like 24 is he's like, I'm gonna get over here. I'm gonna get from like Malibu over to like Pasadena in like
10 minutes.
So like there's no one's ever done that in 12 minutes unless you have a helicopter.
It's so true. And that goes for all you guys. If you ever have like a movie filmed in your town or your state, and they show a scene and you're like, that's not in my state. They do that all the time. It's like they filmed the movie Seven, supposed to be in New York. Their downtown episode, the downtown is in LA. It's downtown LA.
Yeah,
But it looks like New York, right?
They filmed the Thomas Jane Punisher here in Tampa, and the same thing. A lot of it was downtown Tampa, and then all of a sudden they cut the scenes that are nowhere around here, and you could tell.
Yeah, it is funny.
Now, one thing that annoys the heck out of me is when people will reference Texas. I'm like, yeah, I've been to South Texas. Like, where have you been to? San Antonio. Bro, you still got like 5 hours south before you hit the South. Right. You're talking that too. Like, to me, that's like mid Texas. That is in the middle. That is not the South. Or they'll reference Houston. I'm like, nah, y'all don't understand. It's literally, I think what somebody said from tip of Texas, Brownsville, to the tip of the other side, it's 956 miles. From that tip to Alaska, I think it was, or Canada, it's 956 miles. So literally, the whole state of Texas is like if you double it, you can get to Canada from one side to the other. It's crazy. We don't even measure in miles, we measure in time over here. We are in New York, and everyone assumes we are in New York City always. Oh, Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Listen, people think New Mexico is part of Mexico, and there's a magazine that comes out. No, I'm not fucking with you guys. There's a magazine that comes out of tales of New Mexico, and you'd be surprised how many people will say they'll go visit, some other state, and they're like, "Where are you from, New Mexico?" "Oh, your money's not good here."
Oh my
God.
It has been said, we don't take your money.
That's crazy.
Because you're in New Mexico. And they're like, so you don't take dollars? I don't understand. It happens. There's a lot of people who are ignorant who don't think New Mexico is part of the United States. Go figure.
Well, as long as you got your passport, you're good, Caesar.
Yeah, as long as I see this, yeah.
So, one of our topics or the homework we had was, and Greg, I don't know if you were able to watch them, was the first 4 episodes of Ahsoka.
Yeah, look at that. Dale's
so,
on a roll.
You know what? Since the movie has been announced, I've been saying her name incorrectly for the past 4 or 5 months. The only time I say it correctly is when I got drunk live on show, and we did it for a charity event. Yeah. That's the only reason I got drunk. We're like, I'll add $10 to take another shot.
Oh, Shawn, I wish I could do like a little clip show and clip every single time Dale will say Osaka, Osaka. Osaka.
I still mess it up myself. So really? I loved all the Clone Wars stuff. Like I don't know, man. Star Wars names are always messed up, man. There's no way.
Do you feel better?
No, because I was still torture for the past 6 months. But I've learned, right? Ahsoka. See, I've been saying it a lot more. It's because I had to practice. But we'll go episode by episode up to episode 4, and we're gonna show a clip.
We can go 5.
You saw it?
No. I told you. I just saw all of them except for last night's.
Last night's 5.
No, last night's 6.
That's always 5.
Last night was 5.
Okay, then now what the fuck do I know? Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. The last episode I saw, they went hyperdrive.
Oh, that's 4.
And there's 6 episodes this year?
5.
The season?
So the season isn't over.
What, there's 5 episodes?
I'm going to comment a private conversation here. You let me know if you've seen this.
No, because you might spoil it. I'm just telling you, the last time I saw the went hyperspace and went through the fucking X-Wings, and then that's it. That's the last episode.
That's episode 4.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you see the Ewoks in episode 5?
Shut up, Sean.
No, are you sure? I mean, it was like I was so surprised, man. He just came out.
I'm glad you brought that up.
There's Ewoks.
Okay, Ewoks. Are they cannibals, or are they just
they're vegetarian? No, that's not true. They cook meat. I think one of them they were on the roast.
But they eat people, right? They said so they're just beasts, right? They eat regular. Like we're meat to them, pretty much. So they're not cannibals; they're just predators.
Well, weren't they going to cook in Return of the Jedi? Didn't they have them like on a spit or something? Like
I always thought so. Yeah, I was like, those guys are going to get eaten.
Okay, all right. So it's settled. They're cannibals. Well, they're
How-
ready to be cannibal
They're
because they're not human,
predators.
so they're not
Yeah, exactly. They're predators.
Yeah, carnivores. They're
Carnivores.
yeah.
Carnivores.
They're carnivore. They're carnivore.
All right. So let's go to episode 1, and we're gonna start off with Greg first, and then we'll go Caesar, Clutch, and I'll end this episode 1. What are your thoughts, Greg, on episode 1?
So real quick, I've only seen episode 1, and I did watch.
Oh, perfect.
I'm trying to catch up on everything. I'm so far behind, guys. But I loved it. I love the way that the series started. It was definitely an exciting start. Right out of the gate, to see lightsaber action, to see some Jedis. It's pretty cool. So I did enjoy it quite a bit. The first, like I said, just the first episode is all I've seen so far. But you guys can talk about the rest. That I'll get there.
I mean, honestly, the bigger episode with the bigger spoilers is episode 5, and we're not gonna talk about that one way too much, or actually at all, just so you know, because for everybody else that hasn't seen it. 4 has the good stuff. We are gonna show some clips of it, and then, but that's episode 2. Well, I should continue with Caesar. What did you think of episode 1?
So I just read that they're having 8 episodes.
But was that about episode 1?
No, I'm just telling you guys that there's 8 episodes of this. I thought
So 3 more to go.
I thought there was going to be 6 personally, because they've done that before. So
Yeah, they have.
okay, I feel better now. The first episode, I didn't think it was slow. A lot of people say it's a little slow. I think it was just enough buildup to kind of like to kind of get it going. Hey, Chelsea, to kind of get it going. So I liked it. My answer to all the episodes is that I've seen so far, I've loved all of it. Whenever you have Jedis, you can't go wrong with that.
How about you, Clutch?
Greg was right. Like, it starts off and you're like, this is what I want. Like, I get to like it just that first scene, and then it's like where it all comes in, and it's like it led you in a really good way, and you're like, I'm not sure what's going on, but this is gonna be cool. And then like all the little teases about what they're looking for and who you get to see, and then like the Ahsoka part, like when she drops out that second saber, you're like, oh my god, this is sick. And then of course you're like, hey, we're gonna give you this crazy battle right there too. And it's like they had it really well paced, and then getting to see the kids from Rebels. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's one of their most successful ones.
Yeah, their first fight was pretty cool. Like, it started off with a fight. It wasn't a dumb, like, it wasn't just she carved it out, and she was smart. She pulled them down first. She picked them off. There was a lot of thought into this fight scene. It was just a one regular swing your lightsabers all around. It was like, you got to be smart when you attack 4 against was it 5 against 1? So she did all this other stuff, and it was awesome. And then I will start off with episode 2. It was there was a good pace, but once they mentioned Thrawn, I was like, oh shit, that opened up a lot of situations, right? Like, oh, this is gonna be a good show, because everybody was waiting to see who was the bad guy.
Oh my God.
Obviously, we saw the trailer, but we had to confirm Thrawn. And then okay, well, we are gonna see the idea of him being in a different place. Okay, it was filling a lot of gaps, a lot of story in episode 2, in my opinion, where we wanted to make sure people understand it's not just, oh, all of a sudden they find them out of nowhere. No, this is how they find them, why they find them, why are they there, how they can retrieve them, how they're going to save their friend. So it filled in a lot of information, and that's what I took out of episode 2, was just an episode of information so people can get ready. How about you, Clutch?
Yeah, exactly the same. Like, I thought it was a really good way to kind of like, to give you all the, I think it was always like, we talked about like when Walking Dead, right? There's always like an episode of action, an episode of like building up story, then an episode of action and story. And I feel like that's the kind of the pace they're on. So all the odd number episodes are going to be full of action and crazy stuff, and the other events are going to be like setting things up. And I think it did a really good job of like laying a little bit more of the foundation, filling in some of the gaps for people who may not have watched any of the other series, they're not sure who Thrawn is or whatever, like giving us what we need to build it up.
I'm okay with action build up. I'd rather have that than all meaningless action and no story.
Yeah.
So you kind of need that drama. You kind of need a little bit of that to kind of engage you into the show, instead of pulling a Michael Bay and fucking explosions every 4 minutes, right? Because after it's like, what? I just watched 2 hours of explosions and no story. So I would rather have a little bit. I don't mind a slow burn. I'm okay with slow burns as long as it builds up that crescendo. What's up, James?
So that's pretty much what episode 2 was. Episode 3, they got more, right? You saw I forgot her name. What was the female baddie that we have right now? I don't remember her name at all.
The witch.
Not the witch. The
the blonde,
Jedi.
the white, the Jedi. Morath, Susie. I don't know.
I don't know how you went for Susie, but
it's not Deborah. No.
As in bad guys, obviously you have the main baddie, right? Whereas the witch, but her as a sub, like her own. I think if they build her character well enough, she can have her own off, or little mini show about her, how she was able to become a Jedi, her origin story, pretty much. Because honestly, she's not saying a lot, but when she does, it's like it's sinister, and she wants to kill this person, kill that person. She's been a good actress to me. Okay, and you know what? And let's go back to episode, I think 2 or 1. How do they not die with a lightsaber through your gut? I mean,
which episode is that?
I think it was episode 1.
That was episode 1. Yeah.
That was episode 1.
Oh well, if they
got
missed,
stabbed.
let's be honest. If you miss
I saw.
if you miss all the vital organs, and if you see where she points to the side, you can survive that. Sure. I don't see with that.
With Caesar, we're in episode 3, right? Or
right.
She's back training. There's no hole there. You know what I mean? It's like it's just nothing ever happened.
They have those good doctors. What can I say? She has healthcare, good healthcare. I don't know what to tell you.
She was in that little tube with the little. She had the mask on, right, or something.
She's definitely not in the
off
tube.
screen, right? They didn't have to show it.
Maybe the Ewoks fixed her, according to Shawn.
I mean, they're magical, man.
They are magical. No, but I would think, because it looks like it really kind of hit her on the side. Now, if it went straight in the gut and she survived, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I think someone, I swear it was like on Reddit or something like that. I saw someone posted like they basically had a body, and it's like, oh, cool. If you get stabbed here, it misses a lot of stuff. But if you get stabbed right in the center, that cuts you in the spine, you're going to die. So it's like,
it's plausible.
It was, yes, absolutely. But I will admit, like, watching it the first time, I was like, oh, she's dead. Like, they killed her. Like, this is crazy. I did not expect that. This is Game of Thrones Star Wars. Like, they're like, your favorite character gets killed in the first episode. But like, yeah, it was a weird, like, the angle looks strange, but I buy it, and I will believe it as much as they want to show it to me. Like, that's fine. She's alive. She's
yeah, future doctors, they could stitch it up. I mean, come on.
Future doctors. And it's funny because she was a war hero. So I'm like, how are you gonna kill her off so soon? All right. And then you can tell that she hasn't used that lightsaber in a minute. Obviously, in episode 3, they talked about how she needs to practice and needs training. And that episode, they pretty much they already had lost it. They're trying to track down where they're at. They find some information, and they're trying to get backup from the Senate, pretty much. So that's where episode 3 was. So what are your thoughts on episode 3? Not too much action. Oh no, I'm lying. They did have action. Remember, that's when they found out the traitors, right? And that episode was another fight scene, right? And it shows off her Ahsoka versus Inquisitors, right? She had that one-on-one with him, and she was beating his ass pretty much. And you go like, damn, she is strong.
Well, that's when he starts. That's when you see his blade, right? The one that spins, the dual blade.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass. I would think it'd be kind of hard to control. Being that fast. If you really think about it, right? If you have something with that fast, for you to be able to control it without going off balance. But then again, what the fuck do I know, right? Hey, Kyle, what's up, man?
So, and it's cool, and that's. Oh, sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
I was just saying, hi, Mr. Willis.
So in that fight scene at the end, it was a cool part where they're already left. his fucking lightsaber is coming back, and she just moves to the side like,
Oh, that
I
was
knew-
kind of cool. Yeah,
like I knew it
That
was
was
coming. I'm gonna dodge it like nothing.
yeah, that was cool. That was cool. No, there's some really cool parts in there that make you go like, this Ahsoka is pretty badass, right?
So what do you think of episode 3 so far, Mr. Clutch?
Digging it. I'm eating it up like popcorn, man. Like every little bit of it, it's so cool because, you know, like Ray Stevenson is like such a cool actor. Like rest in peace, man. Like you're so great, and I don't know, man. These guys are. Dave Filoni knows what he's doing, and I trust in Dave. I'm not going to wear a cowboy hat, but I trust in Dave.
And the funny thing is, in this series, you all don't know, each episode has a different director.
Well, that's right. I
Yeah.
think they do that a lot. They do that a lot in Mandalorian and all the other shows too. They have different directors, and it's kind of cool because you can see how each director kind of what
Leads
their forte is, right? What some like more of the drama fights, others just like the straight in your face action. Yeah, I kind of dig it.
And then we got episode 4, and that one we are going to show a clip. But before we do that, Caesar? What were your thoughts of episode 4?
So episode 4 is the last one I saw, right? That's what we
Yes.
agreed on. Okay. Listen, the minute that broad came out, she got outside in space with the lightsabers against fighters. I was like, what? How's this going to happen? Well, it fucking worked. I dug the last episode actually a lot. I think it was one of my favorite episodes.
How about you, Clutch?
Loved it. All of it. It's so good. Mandalorian was like kind of mid, you know, the last little bit. I'm like, whatever. This is giving me all the stuff I want. Like I want a lot more of this.
No, here we go. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure that I'm showing
it
the
up.
audio.
Yeah, no, the thing is too, Greg's like, yeah, okay, in space with the lightsabers. Get out of here. That never happened.
Dude, and then the fight scenes. Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
No, I believe it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'll probably watch a few episodes tonight once we're off.
They're so short.
And what was cool about it too is that you could see she lost her gravity. She's like, hey, pick me up. And all she did was tilt the fighter to the right, and she picked her back up. That was cool. So this is one of the cooler fights, and this is where they start. The beginning, I mean, right here, they show a lot of good stuff. Right here, look at that. And there was a clue right here well, right now.
Make sure you don't spoil it, Dale.
Oh no.
All right, I'm just saying.
Oh, it's gonna get spoiled a little.
Yeah,
bit.
it's gonna get spoiled. I'm just saying you're gonna spoil it. I'm just saying. There's quite a lot
I
of
think
people here
right
that haven't seen it.
here. Well,
Okay, you can
episode
play that
4
part at least.
Yeah, episode 4 should be a good one because that was a week ago. It's episode 5. I don't want to bring up at all.
This
Right
is,
here,
what
the
I'm
fight scene.
this is the part I'm talking about. That's pretty
Yeah.
hard to control.
And she cut him while it was spinning, so she actually timed it perfectly. But look at this part. I don't know if you noticed this. You see all that?
So yeah, I don't understand what that was. Now, there's probably people. Is Brandon? I'm surprised Brandon's not here.
Oh yeah, I should tag Brandon and
We should-
Jake.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the lore of that. Why he exploded that way? I don't know the Star Wars lore,
So
but
that's what I want to explain to you. So the thing is, you remember who you have there is a witch. So that is a dead body, pretty much consisted of just the old like life form of the old person that she had. I forgot the name of the person.
wait, is that your theory or is that true?
Well, that's one of the theories that's out there. I was reading into, and it makes perfectly good sense because remember, the main baddie is a witch, pretty much, and that's what what I was reading, they explained that. I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I wanted to bring in the one of those topics. So that's why I wanted to stop it there.
Interesting.
And then I will fast forward this part because it was just fighting, but a nice fighting scene right now.
No, hey, guys, listen. For those people who haven't seen episode 4 yet, you know,
I mean,
you.
it's been a week. We've always given you a week.
That
I mean,
is true. We
that's
did
what
give you a week.
And you can tell they have different styles of fighting.
Ray Stevens, rest in peace, homeboy. I love that guy.
So
It's a
badass.
hard set. There you go, buddy. Fucking Brian.
Yeah, man, I really like that actor. It's a shame.
Did you see the ending, Caesar?
Of this episode?
Yes, like the
Yeah.
end ending.
You, is there like a post credit or something, or?
Well, I'll show it to you. I want to see if you. You know, we can.
Well, I do know he's pretty damn powerful. That's for sure.
Exactly, Brian. It has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
See, that's which I've been referencing for
Yeah.
those that are in the comment section. She's the one has been setting up everything.
So what part are you talking about?
Hold on. No. I'm gonna fast forward all the way to the end.
Yes, to the end. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
This one. This is the clip. What's this? You know what this is, Brandon. You know what this is.
So,
Okay.
so someone explained to me. So the buddy I watch the show with every Monday, he explained to me what this was because I had it because he reads all that shit, so he knows the Star Wars lore, and apparently this is like that place that
Rebel.
they go to.
Ghost Force or something like that.
Yeah, and apparently it's a place
Right
that
here.
maybe
A world
Anakin-
between worlds. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Hold on. This time, I want to hear this again. Gave me goosebumps.
Chicken gives you goosebumps.
That's the runs. Worse.
Is that what it's called?
Faster?
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Anakin.
See, they actually didn't do a too bad job making him look younger. It looked okay, right?
I agree.
They have that Disney money. Apparently, Warner Brothers doesn't have their money.
So, stop screen sharing. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen the teaser, but if you saw the Rebel, the animation for Star Wars,
I never saw Clone Wars or Rebels.
The Clone Wars. It's exact same as the Clone Wars. It's like the exact same, pretty much. So it was cool. It's epic. As soon as everybody heard his name or heard his voice, I was like, oh, it's fucking Anakin Skywalker. Watch it. Yes, right. We don't want to talk about it in this episode. We already killed a lot of it for Greg, so I feel bad already. But that episode 5
Ruined it.
It is Rebels Down. Sorry, whatever, Brian. See what I mean? Like, if I had said her name incorrectly, this.
Oh my God, she would get roasted.
Always happens, but I mean, I don't want to. I'm not gonna talk about episode 5. But this last one,
episode 5.
everybody. You know, it's funny how everybody. Not honestly everybody. A lot of people hated Anakin for being to the dark side. As soon as they saw him here in this episode, I'm like, Anakin's my favorite character. I missed him. It just brought back a lot of nostalgia, pretty much, to a lot of people. To me, I'm like, as soon as I heard him and I saw him, I'm like, dude, I can't wait for the next episode. I'm like, yep, I can't. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I binged it, pretty much.
Let's put it this way. So this is running all the way to October 3rd. So that's will be the last episode will be October 3rd. Each episode, each season of okay, let me take back. Each Disney episode season of Disney shows of Star Wars have had a very cool moment. For example, some people didn't like Obi-Wan. I liked Obi-Wan. And to me, Obi-Wan, one of the best scenes was when Vader fought him again, right? And when they're outside and he had the split with the blue and the red, and he had the Darth Vader, and he would go in and out of voice between Anakin and then Darth, and then Anakin and then Darth. That's just, I mean, that to me gives me goosebumps. It's just badass because being a Star Wars fan from the 1970s, when going to the movie theaters and watching it and stuff like that, there's that right away nostalgia of seeing that stuff and everything Star Wars. That's why I'll watch them all. I'll even watch Endor, and I've seen Endor, and I loved Endor. I think Endor is a underrated show, and people should have a chance to watch that if you haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Greg, what was your favorite series so far? Because I know, honestly, we can't include Ahsoka on this one because it hasn't finished. As of now, what is your favorite series? And you got to see the season as well. It could be a Mandalorian season 1 or Mandalorian season 2. It can have been anything else. Andor. What is your favorite, Greg, and why?
The Obi-Wan for sure, because just like Caesar was saying, I got to see Vader again. I've been waiting to see Vader for 25, 30 years,
Right. It's a lot of patience.
Yeah. The I think Jedi came out the year I was born. So it's, it was cool to see.
What's wrong, Shawn? You feel old? What's
Yes.
wrong? Yeah.
Yes.
Because the minute you said that, Greg, I saw Shawn. I think he shed it
God
about.
damn it.
Sean shed another 10 pounds.
Jedi was 83, right?
What is
Oh
it?
my gosh! Don't say that.
I wasn't born at that time, so I wouldn't know. Hold on, Greg. How old are you, Greg?
I'm 39.
There we go. I'm 35. Okay, I know Caesar's
Yeah.
50. How old are you, Sean?
46.
You're not the oldest one here.
No,
Yeah.
I'm 51, so I'm up there.
I'll watch everything, but don't have to like Richard's prime.
Now that is true. I will watch everything. Doesn't mean you have to like everything, but I will watch anything Star Wars except for the animation. I couldn't get into Clone Wars and I couldn't get into Rebels, but when it comes to the TV shows, I'll watch them all. May not like it. I think some of it's kind of kooky, and I think out of the kookiness, Book of Boba Fett had to hit the spot on the kooky with the Power Ranger trucks. I mean bikes. To him, taking the mask off and going all zen. But then again, they had Cad Bane, which is pretty badass.
Cad Bane was badass, honestly.
Right, but then there was those things of like, oh, that's cool. Then they had like
Mandalorians had to save him. They had to save
Mando
the show.
2.0 came in with the Rancor, the Rancor playing King Kong, up there on the thing. It was just weird. And I do hope that they make a season 2, please learn from your mistakes from season 1.
Okay.
Jedi was 83. I just checked. I just looked it up.
Wow. 83. Let's see. I was watching it. So I one of these days I'm afraid that we're gonna watch these shows, and I always want to grab my lightsaber and like fucking play in the living room while I watch a TV show. I'm gonna have my wife, come on, stand up now. You stand there and grab that spoon. Now come at me.
No, wait. One of these days when she pisses you off, just go like that. Go either choke or pretend and then she's gonna throw something at you. What the fuck are you doing?
It's not working. Well, actually, she already does that now, but it doesn't work.
Oh, that record at the end was pretty cool though. That was pretty good.
That was a fun moment, yeah.
77, 80, 83. So that's 77 Star Wars, 80 Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Apparently I was one when the first movie came out, Apparently, my mom's like, "Oh yeah, your dad took you to the theater to watch it." And I'm like, I didn't know my dad was an asshole because I would yell at that guy now. If someone brought a 1-year-old in the theater right now, no, I'm yelling at you, get out. I'm going to the usher and get out of this theater, man.
Clutch,
Like,
77 was different times, man. Different times.
yeah, man,
You
they're
know?
smoking cigs and like drinking whiskey in the
There
car
were
on the ride over.
Things were going on in seats that you don't want to know about. So 77 was a wild time, man. I'm just saying.
So, what was your favorite series, Rich Clutch? Like, what so far? What has been your favorite Disney series? Not any movies from the Star Wars.
No, I'm gonna go Andor. Like I was such a Rogue One fan. I was like, this is just the grittiness I need, and I really enjoyed I thought Andor is had its really heady. I love movies that are war movies and stuff like that too, and it felt like this espionage and stuff. I thought it was really well done, and I'm excited to see what they can do further. I think they're doing one more season, right?
Yeah, they have to.
I think that's going to be really cool to see how that kind of ties together. But dude, honestly, the first season of Mandalorian was just one of those what? This is so cool. I'll admit, seeing the new season of Mandalorian was great. Honestly, I can't talk trash about any of them at this point. But I would say Andor is probably my favorite so far. But I think Ahsoka is really this is really good. This might take the cake.
It's getting up there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna have to give mine to Mandalorian, the first one, just because I was just this cat has been jumping on me. This cat.
Oh,
dude, it's a baby, but nope, my kids don't take care of it, so she gets the love from me. But then she scratches as heck because we haven't declawed her yet. Anyways. So I would have to say, no, don't jump on me, dude. Mandalorian was because I was a regular fan of Star Wars. Just I like it. I'm not a big fan. I'm just but Mandalorian brought me from as an average Joe into the series. I'm like, dude, I need to read this. I need to collect that book. I want to get the first appearance of Boba Fett. I got into it so bad. Now I gotta see everything. I had to catch up into Andor. I've been watching Ahsoka.
Man, you ruined it.
Yeah, shut your mouth. But yeah, dude, to the point where I wanted to get some of the stuff signed by them. I actually want to get stuff signed by them because it's been real cool. And then now that these series are coming out, I was like, damn, there's so many possibilities. So many action things. They're bringing the rebel part. Did y'all ever thought that a series named Ahsoka 5-10 years ago was going to be a hit?
No, of course.
You know what I mean? And I want to give credit to the Mandalorian. Yes, it was Mandalorian had a following already. Star Wars had a following. Mandalorian brought everybody else in my opinion. They brought people like me that were just average.
Well, I think Mandalorian probably took the bad taste out of people's mouths from all the last Star Wars movies that people didn't like. Now, I don't hate the new Star Wars with Rey and all those, and as Kylo Ren as much as some do. Some people can't stand the new shit. They just can't. They don't like it. They don't like the direction. I don't mind it. I was entertained. I liked all the Knights of Ren. Those guys were badass. Kylo, when Kylo Ren first came on the scene with the mask and the slender, not so big Darth Vader guy, I liked the dude. His mask was bad. The voice was cool. I liked it. And there's people probably like Brandon who's like, burn it all to hell. After Jedi, right? And I'm not like that. I kind of dig it.
We have tasties.
Oh, so Brandon, are you agreeing with me that you don't mind the new ones? Because there's people who will damn it to hell. I mean, wish it never even came out. So I'm
with you. I think the middle one was what did you guys do? It's the first one was, I was like, this is cool. It's I like where it's going. And then the middle one got a little shaky because they was trying to it was they didn't have the plan for all three, right? You have three directors, so who were you do this, and the third one had to be well, how do we make all this shit make sense? And then it got a little funky, but dude, there were so many fun parts and cool moments. Like I said earlier about Flash, man. It doesn't take me much to enjoy a film. If it's just a couple little bits, I'm like, all right, cool. That outweighs all the junk. So
I do want to talk about something. Dale, are you the one that that posted which were your favorite which are your favorite intros in for a superhero movie? Was that you who posted that?
I don't know. I posted
I,
that.
I saw a post that said, "Name your top favorite intro
I don't
to
think
a
that was
movie."
me.
To a movie, and some people will say Deadpool, like the beginning of Deadpool, and all that stuff. I made me wonder. I'm like, you know what? I really love the intro credits to Wolverine Origins. How it showed him in the Civil War, the Revolution, the Civil War, and then like World War One, and then he was in World War II, and then he was in Vietnam, and he was all the same age with his brother. Something
Oh,
about
yeah.
that was just it was so cool to see that one and the beginning of Watchmen. That was one of my other favorite intros. So I started wondering, what do you guys think? What's that one intro of that movie that you were like, man, I love that intro to that movie?
Wow.
After me, it's easy as Batman,
Which one?
the animated one, the 1992 series with
With Kevin Conroy?
I think with him is the way that was the original one, pretty much. That I need to look it up now.
I don't even remember. What about you guys? How about you, Greg? Clutch, what do you think?
I immediately went to the 1989 Batman.
I don't even remember how that started.
It with the guy off the side of the cliff, and the edge of the building. He goes, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Batman." I was like,
Oh,
that was like the first 5 minutes of the movie, wasn't it? If I rember correctly.
Wow, I don't even remember.
89.
It's been so long ago. You were like 3.
I was sick.
I was one.
It formed a core memory for him.
I did.
Core memory.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said I did see that in the movie theater too. I was sick.
All right.
Yeah, I'll co-sign with Brandon, man. Like that. Think about that Star Wars: A New Hope, where like the Corvette, and it's like they're coming in and all the firing at it, and then they pull up, and then like Vader comes in the door, and like I'll tell you, like of all the Star Wars films, like the end of Rogue One, where you get that scene, I was like, that to me was like
that was a mind blower.
They could have ended every Star Wars film at that point if that was just like that. Awesome.
At the end of Rogue One, no spoilers. Spoilers are here for fools. If you haven't seen Rogue One by now, you're dead to me. At the end of that movie, at the end of Rogue One, I wasn't even thinking about it, and you're like, "Holy shit! It's so connected now. Now I can rest in peace. Now I could sleep at night."
It was so good. It tied it all together. You're right. Like it was like there it is, like that puzzle piece, and it's like, boom, done.
Yeah. Should we give credit to Jon Favreau for actually, putting everything into place, because he's the main person?
Yeah, 100%. Of course, 100%. Jon Favreau for Iron Man, the very first one that started it all. Jon Favreau and Mandalorian for rehashing all the Star Wars fans to get back into it. 100% Jon Favreau.
And it's crazy because people just think he's as an actor from like I remember the first time I think I saw him was The Replacements. No, I'm wrong. What was the name of that movie when he's a rocker?
Was it PCU?
That's what it's called? Because I remember him being a rock guy, and that's
the PCU one was him and Jeremy Piven, and he played like the college dummy, and he had like the braid, he had like dreadlocks or whatever.
Yes,
I always like loved that one. I was like, this guy's so weird.
I just saw him in an episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, really?
He played the clown that George pushed aside when the place caught on fire.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
And he pushed all the kids, and he screamed fire. He was the clown at that party.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, early 1990s.
That's great. I did not know that. But you know what? If we talk about iconic intros, Star Wars, no matter who you are, you pretty much know that intro because like, oh, that's the Star Wars. Even the people that like the younger people will know now because they use it so much in different things. Or even the Batman. You hear the Batman intros, you know who it is. Like, or even that what's that thing? Batman. That itself is its own iconic little phrase.
1966 Batman. I mean, were
you born then?
No, not yet. You dumbass.
I was just wondering.
I'm not that fucking old. I'm not almost 60. Jesus. If I am, I'm like Benjamin Button, fucking going backwards.
No, you still look old.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like you. Look, it's funny because look at Sean. He is all white. Like you know what I mean?
See, that's why like hair really does age a man. Sean looks probably older than me because of his long beard and
Oh, yeah.
his rock star hair. I mean, he's got.
Like one time I got accused of being Robert Kirkman's dad. I was like, I am younger. I'm older than him anyways.
Is
but I
this
was
back
like,
when you were heavier though?
2 years older.
Was this back when you were heavier?
Yeah, I was heavier for sure.
Okay,
Oh,
well, there-
okay.
that also
Yeah,
adds.
yeah.
That also adds.
You know, I honestly, he does look like Odin. I mean, if you look, turn to your left, Sean. There, see what I mean? Look at that.
Well, yeah, spitting.
I gotta
in-
hide my weak chin with my beard.
That's not a bad idea. That's why Dell has his so long.
That's right. I was supposed to get a haircut today, but I'm busy with the kids. Like I gotta take him to the doctor. I gotta go get some stuff for my wife. She was getting stuff for school. She needs to turn in paperwork. I'm like, I hurried up, but I made time, and I came back home and finished watching episode 4 and 5, just in case. And then Caesar said he didn't watch 5. Like, all right, cool, it's fine. I need to rewatch it because I was just messaging people and doing other stuff at the same time. I need a good rewatch on episode 5 because that episode was cool. Growing mine back out after SpawnCon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I heard you're shaving.
Oh,
for everything.
what? Hey, shit, that's right. SpawnCon was this weekend.
No,
It's-
October
no.
20th and 29th. It's in
Denver,
growing
Colorado.
mine after SpawnCon.
Colorado.
I read that completely wrong. You know what I read with these old eyes? I threw my back out after SpawnCon. Boy, I'm fucked.
Bro, how did you read
Jesus
that? That makes
Christ,
sense.
yeah.
Throw your back. Okay,
Wow.
maybe no, maybe no.
Okay, man. You know what? I don't care.
That's why
anymore.
you can't read, right, Caesar? That's why you don't read.
That's why I don't read comics. That's right, because I think Spider-Man is afraid of kryptonite. That's what I'll be all fucked up on.
But going back to where we were talking about, Invincible has become something of an icon itself, right? Because nobody knew what Invincible was until they watched the first season. After the first season, I'm gonna be included in that series, and those people, everybody became a fan. Like, yeah, I've known about Invincible for the longest time. Now they'll Google the information and this and that. I shared a couple of clips about Invincible a couple of days ago, not even yesterday, on our page. Within a few hours, it's already hit 7K views, and they're like, "Oh, it's cool." And the conversation is not even about Mark anymore. It's, can Omni-Man solo Superman or Omni-Man versus Homelander? And those are the conversations that have been going on. There's a lot of these little episodes, so you have more information than a lot of people. What are your thoughts? Omni-Man versus Homelander versus Superman. Who wins?
I think the easiest thing I can say is pre-order Mortal Kombat 1 comes out on October 9th or something like
This
that.
guy.
And he's gonna send me a promo code so you guys get it. I can't wait for that game, by the way, which is amazing. I mean the way these little fan arguments are the best thing ever. Like the way that the Vultramites are written in the books, I think Homelander gets smoked by both Superman and Omni-Man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think he's too unhinged.
Yeah.
He basically a baby pretty much because he's only been 2-3 years and that's it, and he just has a body of an adult.
Yeah, he's too unhinged.
I would say in terms of Superman Omni-Man, I truly think Superman would win. I think the way that Superman has been written, like what was that, Superman 3 million or whatever, like the guy, I mean, he's really like, he's eternal basically. But I think that Invincible Superman, because the way that Invincible is written in the end of the series, like I think it leads you to believe that Invincible is basically like, end boss, right? Like he's
omnipotent pretty much.
So I would put Invincible at the top of the chain. Superman beats Omni-Man, but they both beat Homelander. That's mine.
But I'm starting to think now that we're talking about this, Superman versus Omni. Superman is also still that very pure. I don't want to kill you, Omni-Man. Where Omni's like, I'm gonna rip your head off the second I have a chance.
Yeah.
Where Superman would kind of have that hesitation of, I don't want to do this, right? Where Omni wouldn't have that hesitation. You just do
But I
it.
go like, I mean, honestly, like that Injustice Superman, like that dude is
Well, that's different.
lethal.
That is true. Now,
So, man,
that's the
so-
question, right? Is it Injustice Superman versus Omni? Because that's a whole different
It
story.
would have to be the Ultimate Superman versus the Ultimate
Oh
Omni-Man.
well, then I would think Injustice because that guy's a beast.
Yeah, I think it goes. I mean, it's like we're it's if it can go either way, right? You could say one or the other, but I feel Superman would go.
I tell you what, Del, real quick. Next time we have a bracket challenge, guess who we're going to invite?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome to have Clutch on
Let's go
there.
down.
Yeah.
So before I ask my next question, Greg, what are your thoughts with Superman versus Omni-Man and Homelander?
Oh yeah, Superman. In my opinion, Superman. he was created for nothing to be able to touch him. It's he's got everything.
Okay,
I like Omni-Man quite a bit, but Superman.
so my next question is Battle Beast. Can he be? You know how Lobo's such a badass in DC. Do you think he's a Lobo for Invincible, pretty much, or is he a different being altogether?
Oh, I think like in terms of like popularity and of the type of
Popularity and the anti-villain kind of aspect of it.
Yeah, I think, man, it's funny. Robert has talked about these little moments before with certain characters, like especially in The Walking Dead, where it's like he wasn't able to kind of really go and like flesh out certain storylines or whatever. And I think Battle Beast was always one of those ones where it was like, he pops up and it's issue 19 and then he's out and then he doesn't show up until like in the 60s or 70s. So there's like a huge chunk of time where you don't get to see this character, and then it's like off to the races, and then at some point, spoiler, he's a shoulder pad. So there's so much cool about him. I think we got so lucky to see like his cool moment on the show, and I'm like, I would love to see more of him at some point. Like he's one of my favorite characters. I've got like artwork and sketches and stuff of him. Like it's always been my favorite, and the way that Ryan just drew him and brought so much like vigor to like this character, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I think I hope in the show they're able to flesh him out more and do some more cool stuff, because I think it'd be really neat to see him like become a really iconic character and live a second life on the show that he didn't necessarily have in the comics.
I mean, for people who didn't know really, they knew Invincible existed, but they didn't know too much about it until the actual cartoon, like me. And I saw that dude come on. I was like, this guy's fantastic. What a great character, and he's badass. He's drawn badass, right?
Yeah,
I love that guy. It's fantastic.
Oh, this cat.
And the voice, you got Michael Dorn. Like you got Worf to do the voice. Like
that's what the voice is? Really?
Yeah. It's like this is just awesome. Like it's a nerd level 1,000.
And you know what's funny how you brought like the whole time that Robert wanted to make different storylines for different characters. Daryl, right? The show has Daryl has his own show now.
Yep.
And he has been an iconic figure for The Walking Dead. He started off as like the brother of the more popular character, and then he himself became the popular one, right? Everybody liked him. Nobody wanted him to die. Him and what's his name? The one that got hit with the bat.
Glenn,
the
guy who does
Abraham was sad, but Glenn was. I think I dropped off. I haven't kept up with it, but after that scene, I dropped off. But I was watching Fear of the Walking Dead, and I just saw a way to watch it all in order. And I think I'm gonna rewatch everything in order because it looks super fun. Glenn, yes, and it was super sad when he died. I'm like that. There was so many fucking times like everybody knew that he wasn't die, right? But everybody was like. He was underneath the trash can with zombies around him, and like, damn, he's gonna die right there. And there's another situation where he's gonna die. He never did die. At some point, he's not gonna die. They're gonna write him differently. They can't lose a good character like that. And then there goes the bat, right? And he I
He's,
hated
and remember,
hated
he's
the
he's the
governor.
voice. Remember, he's the voice of Mark in
Yeah,
Invincible.
yeah, and it's crazy how he's been working with a lot of cool projects. I think he deserves a lot more, but when Governor came into the series of The Walking Dead, he became that character where I hate him, and then I was like, I respect what his decisions and why he's doing certain things. All right, he's a good guy, but it took a while. I mean, the writing obviously was a big reason why I enjoyed it, and just it's not it hit a wall for me, but watching the other side shows has been I've been able to enjoy it again, and for some reason I got that spark when I saw Daryl's side show. I gotta rewatch everything all over again, just because Daryl's show it's gonna be killer because it's not in America, it's in uh, France, right? Am I not
Yeah,
mistaken?
France.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different aspect. You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking, how are these freaking Negan? My bad, Brandon. You're right. And how are these zombies in the water? Like, how are they alive? I know
Water
they can.
zombies.
I guess I know they can't breathe, but you know, I don't know how can they live in the water. It just gets
Well,
me.
they're not going to drown as long as the brain's alive. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
I know, but like,
They
there's gonna be
just
water
walk.
inside everything, every crevice.
I
Wouldn't
know.
there be crabs and shrimps and eating everything up in there?
I don't think this is like the Flying Dutchman and
Yeah, I was gonna say like pirates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pirates Caribbean, where they're crabs hanging them out of their
They
ear.
don't die.
I don't think it's like that. But I got to be honest. I dropped out after the first Negan when they captured him and all that. I dropped off after that. I couldn't hang anymore. It's a long show. I mean, kudos to those who watched it all the way through. But I started watching the Fear the Walking Dead, and I also
Yeah.
lost interest in that. It's a lot of zombies.
yeah. I'll admit, I never watched the entire thing. I think it dropped off like season 7, like between season 7 and 8 is when I fell off, and I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah,
Like
I
to
got
me, the comic was always the thing, right? Like I always loved the books, and that's where I was hooked. And the show just get off the rails a little bit, and I think it
it's fine. But,
it
but boy,
lost honestly, like the Carl stuff when Carl when Carl
Oh,
was
that
on the
was
show, like in the book he's such like he's the character. The whole thing with him and Governor or him and Negan in the book, like that whole part, like that's such a key piece of the entire tapestry of The Walking Dead. And then for that to just like not necessarily come to life in the show, it's just like,
Right.
man, I'm cool.
Carl. And I actually thought he was gonna die when they had his eye was gouged out. Like,
Yeah.
damn, they're gonna kill him so early, but they did it. I'm like, okay, well, he's gonna survive a little bit longer. And then they have these side relationships, and he likes her, and then the worst part, or I think the most iconic, not most iconic, one of the iconic one is when she tells the little girl, look at the flowers, right? And then she kills him, and
Yeah, that was
damn, that was
No,
God.
there's quite a. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of episodes were like, whew, I didn't see that coming. But it did make me starts Googling how the actual person died in the comic book. That's what it made me do. So whenever I saw someone die on there, was a character, I went straight and I'm like, how did they die in the comic book? And I'm like, oh, they're not dead yet. They didn't die until like way later, or they died very early. Like I guess who's the one where she lost her daughter and they couldn't find
Carol.
her? Carol, right?
Yeah.
And she came out of the barn and all that stuff, which is also oof, right? But then you find, I guess in the comic books, she lived a hell of a lot longer, right? In the comic.
Yeah, she ended up, I think it was one of my favorite death scenes where she like let herself get killed by a zombie, and while they were in the prison, like it was like, this is the weirdest, wickedest like story. I'm like, this is crazy. And she had she in the show became such, I think they did a little thing too where they like a lot of characters in the show became analogs of characters in the books that weren't there. Like Andrea in the show dies, but in the comic stays alive until the end. And I think like Sasha took on some of her characteristics from the book, and like they mixed things up, and it was a really cool way that they found ways to kind of bring parts of those characters into the ones who were still alive on the show.
Gotcha. Right.
No,
Okay.
what was cool about that too is that she went from a woman that was beat down by her husband, right, and a survivor to like one of the badasses. She
Yeah.
did everything that nobody else wanted to do. She fucking did it. Like you had to call her up for doing all the messy stuff. Man,
She
this
was
cat-
good. She was good.
That she was well written, that's for sure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she was a great actress. I honestly, for a while, I hated her, but I'm like, oh, she had to do it. And it was a love hate thing with her too. You know what I mean? But she's gone. So
Is this Daryl show? Is it also an AMC or is it a webisode?
AMC, I think.
Yeah, I think
It's-
AMC. Yeah, I think
okay.
all the little mini series that they're doing right now are
Okay.
all there.
All right. Okay.
So
All right.
before we take off, because we always try to land on 2 hours. What was your one thing that you miss from working at Skybound? Like that you kind of like, man, I wish I could be doing that. I wish I was still putting my input in this comic or whatever.
Oh God, yeah. I wasn't even going that far. It was like honestly, like there's some people over there that I've built, a friendship for life with some of the people who there's some people who I worked with before Skybound, like Dan Peterson, who worked with me at a record store back 25 years ago. To be able to work with those guys and Sean Makowitz and Arun and Paul and Han and Ben, like all these, I had so many good friendships or relationships with the people there, which was like to me that was that's unto itself that is pinnacle, right? I can't pass that up. But the nerdy stuff, right? The stuff where it's like, dude, I do miss being involved in like, coming up with products and like just brainstorming ideas like, oh, this would be a really cool t-shirt, like when you guys you mentioned the coral thing, like Carl. There was one year we did we did these like Walker Stalker cruises, which was a Walking Dead themed cruise that went from like Florida to Bahamas and back, right?
I remember that.
Yeah, they were so fun. They were such a weird time, and I got to go on each one. But there was one year we were like, we had to come up with merch for the for the thing. And Andres, who was our head designer at Skybound, we're like, oh, we should do a shirt. And he's like, I got a weird idea. What do you think? And it basically was like, like a science textbook where they have like, pictures of here's like a plant or whatever. And it has like a little the phyllis and whatever, I don't know all the scientific terms on there. He took a one that was of a piece of coral and he put Carl's head, the cowboy, the sparrow's hat on it.
That's funny.
And just said like fight, and I don't know, being a species where it said like coral. And like we had that shirt on this cruise and we made I think it was one of the most silliest things we've ever made, but it was like the inside joke and everyone who was on the cruise saw it and they were like, this is the best. Like people to see people wearing this silly freaking idea on a shirt. I was like, I miss that stuff. Being able to come with just the weirdest stuff that like we as fans get a kick out of. And it's like, this is so inside. This is inside. And that stuff I miss. So, I could look back super fondly. I have those shirts that like, I think my mom turned them into a quilt for me. She took them all, cut them up and made one of those little square t-shirt quilts. So it's still with me.
I need to find that shirt. I'm looking for it as we speak.
You're looking for the coral shirt? Coral. Then you can say coral.
Coral.
There's a lot of Carl shirts. You have a lot of Carl shirts, but not
for sure.
Coral.
Well, yeah, a lot of times we keep the show, depends on how we go and stuff like that. We usually want to keep it about an hour, and sometimes if we keep rolling,
we can just keep on talking. Honestly, that's because we haven't even touched the core stuff that I wanted to talk about. Oh my god, I found a cool one though. Let me see.
What was the core stuff? We still have 10 minutes. Dale, what did you want to bring up?
Let's do a lightning round. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do a lightning round. There you go. Look at this guy.
Hold on. Oh, so I did want to talk about Aquaman. What are your thoughts of them continuing with Aquaman to begin with? But DC hasn't done a good, output because Blue Beetle, I think, ended up at 150,000. Have you seen that movie?
I didn't see it yet. I really want to catch it. I heard it's such a really good, like the family stuff is really fun, which is weird to be like, oh yeah, with the family stuff, but I'm excited to see it. So
I saw it and I really enjoyed it. especially because there's not like a lot of Hispanic or Latino characters out there. So I really appreciate it. But did you get the
Oh,
Yank?
look at John. Hey, John. I didn't see you jump in.
Oh, Yang is on
Elton,
here.
what up?
What's up, John?
I still can't find the. I see Carolina. Coral.
So,
Nah,
yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. Obviously, I don't have a choice now, but I'll wait till it comes out on Max. Then
Yeah.
I'll catch.
It'll probably come out pretty soon too. Like, I think they move those on there pretty fast.
Very quick. Hey, John, man, hope you're doing good, my friend. John, this guy. Every time I see John, he's at some convention. This guy's
dude,
constantly
honestly,
hustling.
when it comes to art, he always does this thing where he puts a clip or the corner of what it is. And you're just wondering what it can be,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's a big masterpiece of. Oh shit! Because he like as you can tell, my logo has a lot of color on it. His stuff always has color.
Yeah.
I finally gonna get my book back. It was a Darth Maul that he drew. I'm finally gonna get it's getting shipped to me as soon as they said that it was signed by John and it's coming to me. Hopefully I see it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's one of those books I've been waiting for the longest time.
Yeah,
Because his colors.
I finally grabbed him and he signed that Darth Vader that I've had of his for a long time. And
Did you have you guys seen his Starscream for Transformers #1?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
no, John is. John, you better get out of here because your head's gonna explode. Homeboy. You won't be able to fit through your door, John. But we all know John. We all love John, and John, we're hoping to give you on next year. We're booked, homeboy, till December, so we'll have you on next year. We're planning on getting. I want to get like John Boy back on. We got to get a lot of people here. But I tell you what. But Blue Beetle, we'll watch it. I'll watch it when it comes out on Max.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do not a shameless plug, but I'm a shameless ask. Next time we have you on, bring in your second brother, Robert.
Your second.
I'd love to, man. I'd love to get Robert Adams. He's definitely a hard one to peg down. He hasn't his show. I heard he's gonna be at New York Comic Con. He was at San Diego. He's going in there just doing panels. I'm sure he's going to be talking about all the cool stuff they're doing with the Hasbro and Transformers and G.I. Joe. So I'm excited to kind of see what they pull out of their hat with that.
Dale, you screwed up. You should have said you should ask your son, Robert.
Your son,
yeah.
So how about this? We obviously, as you know, we're booked. Ask him now for January. You know what I mean?
Well, shoot me an email and I'll pass it off to him. We'll see if we can. Do.
And just tell him, you know what? He can come in. We can geek out. We don't even have to ask him questions about anything. We could just pick his brain on like actual geeky stuff.
Why did you pick Shawn as one of your first people to hire?
I'll tell you what it was. He wanted a body double in case someone was going to try to stab him at a show. Maybe they'll stab this guy instead.
Ah, look at that.
That's
so
like
Shawn. What was that movie, Dave, where he like had he ended up being president or whatever? I just have to step in and be Robert.
That's it.
That's our iconic movies. Honestly, if we do get both you want, we do need to do one of those, either iconic or one of those battle. Not the what are we calling them, Caesar?
Which one?
The brackets, battle brackets.
Battle brackets.
So
I don't know if you've seen it, Shawn, our battle brackets.
Yeah,
so we have you've seen them, right? We always have fun because it always becomes a big argument.
Dude, that's the best thing we would always do, right? Like,
can Doom really beat, so and so with, and then it gets like really detailed to, well, he is a little bit of a pussy. So
we did do it, the DC villains versus Marvel villains. That was a good one. Yeah. But Shawn, real quick, Shawn said Big Clutch got me one of the best books I own. Thanks again. Like, there's a shout out right there.
Oh, what up? Yeah, what's up, Shawn? How you doing, man?
Another Shawn. First, another Kirkham. I seen that name a lot. It's weird. Not that the only thing weird, but it's just funny that I see it a lot. And I only saw it a lot a week ago. I wonder if it's Facebook.
It's on your brain. The algorithm's like, all right, we know Shawn's coming out.
You just messaged Shawn about it. Exactly.
Yeah.
It always happens like that. But actually, there was a question I was gonna have. Do you watch horror movies?
Yeah.
Halloween's coming up and October's coming up. What would be your top 3 movies to recommend for people to watch? New and old. Hey.
this it's so funny because like we just my girlfriend and I were talking about horror films the other day too. I love weird ones, and so like there's ones that kind of stick with my head from a kid. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is one of my that movie messed me up as a kid. Like I could not. I was like, this is the crazy. I could not mess with clowns for years.
That's a great movie.
Core memory.
Is that on your list, Greg?
Oh, when you said that, that's the first movie I thought of. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's so gnarly. And they put out like action figures, I think a year ago or so, and they were like, they're so good. I thought about getting them, and I was like, these are gonna like give me like I'm gonna get nightmares again. Like I'm gonna get a little tense right now just thinking about it because it's like
So
as a kid, like seeing that movie, it fudged me up. Like I could not shake it for a long time.
Dude, that's with me and freaking what's it called? Good Boy. I mean, good fella. The good boy. What is it called? Chucky, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
How do you get Good Boy, Good
guys? Good guys.
Good guys. Yeah.
That's what they're called. The good guy dolls.
He's a good guy, doll.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I go to freaking Spirit Halloween and I see him there. I'm like, dude, I'm staying away from that guy. I still get creeped out by him. It's because I don't know why. I'm like 10 times bigger than Chucky, but like, I don't know, man.
And I didn't watch that series. I heard the series is actually really good.
Oh, the TV series?
The show, right? Yeah, the
I have
it was like on NBC or something like that.
I have no plans of seeing it. Child's Play, yes, thank you very much. It's like I think one of the times is where he killed somebody with a rope and he was in back of him in the car. I'm like, I get it. He does have the power of a man, but I don't know. You can't reach to him and take out his arm or something. Like
poor Dale's having nightmares of
dude,
not being able to reach a doll.
When it comes to those little dolls or porcelain dolls, I ban them out. I don't let my daughter get any porcelain dolls. We go to these freaking thrift stores, right? I'm going for comics, and she's a porcelain. Like, Dad, no, that's not even a question. Get over here. Go get some makeup. I don't care. Like, look, I'd rather you look at the Kardashians than a porcelain doll. I'll tell you that much right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead with your top.
Oh, dude, wait, Sean Joe here. Event Horizon. That's an amazingly underrated film. It was so messed up.
Someone mentioned that last week, Dale, when we talked about it with Mandy and Shannon.
Event Horizon is that the one with the little things that somebody?
It's in space. It's in space. It's a sci-fi.
Yeah, Sam Neill from Jurassic Park? He's in there. Like, so good. It was messed up. Maximum Overdrive. Okay, look, you guys are killing it tonight. James, Maximum Overdrive. Love that film. That truck with the Green Goblin on the front was like, I always wanted that as a toy. Like, I always wish, like, why did they not make that for like G.I. Joe scale? Like, that would have been the best.
I love the whole Green Goblin thing on the that was pretty sweet.
I remember what they do need a remake of is not a remake, but maybe a second part to is Pumpkinhead. I used to love that one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
What about you, Greg? What movies are you thinking?
Me?
Yeah.
Like I said, Killer Clowns from Outer Space was the first movie I thought of immediately. I love that movie. The original It.
The TV show, yeah.
I've always liked the Halloween movies with Michael Myers.
The original ones, right?
The original ones. Friday the 13th is coming up, guys. There's a Friday the 13th.
There is a Friday the 13th this year.
That's right.
Yeah, October. It's at New York Comic Con. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be shit.
Trying to think. There's a few, but those are definitely up there.
What's the name of that one movie that wasn't so scary but kind of got my attention was not Mandalorians, Mangaloreans, the one that eat time.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a Stephen King movie.
Oh,
the Langoliers?
The Langoliers.
The Langoliers. Why am I thinking Mandalorian? But the Langoliers. There we go. Thank you for correcting me. Actually, Emily Rose was pretty freaky too. Oh yeah, that one.
Those are good too.
You know what I just did watch the other day was the Pope's Exorcist with.
I like how it wasn't so scary, but it was more informational.
Well, my wife like I said, my wife saw it, so I was like, oh, all right. It's
Thank you,
not
Tom.
scary. It's just interesting. It is based on true story, a true
History,
story.
pretty much. I think to me that's scary because that's actually happened before, and I'm pretty sure there's churches over there in England with skeletons under them too. I mean, if I were to ever visit over there, I would not go to a church. I'll tell you that much right now. Not, I mean, I'm Catholic and everything, but I know back in the day, all these knights for the church did many bad things.
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys remember the hype around Blair Witch when that first came out?
Of course.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Hey, it was ahead of its time. I'm not ahead of its time. It was.
Oh yeah.
I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters, and then they made the video, the prequel, right, to let you know, like they made it so well that it really made you think: Is this shit? Did this really happening? Because they made the documentary about the cult, about the this and about the that, and I'm going, wow, they really went balls. They went balls in on the reality of that.
Yeah.
They sold it hard.
The fourth kind was scary.
And then the second one came out and it sucked, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, we're talking about the fourth kind, right? Did y'all see that they've uncovered aliens in Mexico?
Yeah, that came out today.
Yeah. Sean, we're being serious, Sean.
I saw it. I was like, come on.
Now listen,
They're like, this is actually chupacabra, and I would believe it was a chupacabra, but like aliens, I'm like, come on, guys.
They for it to hit for it to be live, to be in front of the government, for them to kind of do. The thing is that this guy was known one time to think that he also found aliens, but they ended up being children from thousands of years ago. But anyways, it's very hard to dispute and whether you believe or not.
Yeah.
I do. All I'm saying, do I believe those are aliens? Maybe, maybe not. Do I believe that we're the only species in this whole universe? Come on, man. You if you think we are it, okay. If that makes you sleep a lot better.
So I was remembering a movie that was pretty intense, The Fly, with Jeff Goldblum. Y'all remember that one?
I love that one.
Oh God, it's been so long. For me, apparently they're gonna remake Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That scared the shit out of me as a kid. They're gonna remake that, and I think they want to remake another one. Apparently, they're running out of ideas, so they just keep rehashing shit.
I always really enjoyed the original Tales from the Crypt TV show.
That TV show was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, the TV show. And the very first movie was fun. The very first Tales of the Crypt with Ted Danson, with Stephen King. He came out in it. There was some good. That's actually some good stuff. Campy if you watch it now, right? The special effects and all that. It's goofy, but it's still good fun.
What was also good in that area was Twilight. The stories themselves were real cool. I remember the one where the person that was on the plane. That was one of the ones I can still remember.
About Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
I was like, I don't remember that in Vampires.
I said Twilight. I forgot Twilight Zone.
Oh, damn!
I'm messing it up all night.
Yeah, maybe it's
okay. Vampires, yeah. Okay, how about this? This one I do remember. I think it's correct. Silence of the Lambs.
That's a good.
That was good because it was more accurate. It's not like a scary to where it's fantasy. It's scary because that can actually just happen in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's scarier for me when we know that there's actually people that have done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it is based off of a guy who's fucking nuts. So yeah, why not?
And then you got American Psycho.
Well, American Psycho is funny because that actually is somebody. I mean that's Christian Bateman. Is that his name? Christian Bale. That guy. I saw him Memento not too long ago for the first time.
So
holy crap, man!
So
what
good.
a good.
What was the name of that movie where the two little girls are like in like twins, and the boys runs away from them?
The Shining.
Shining. There we go. That one. I remember that one as well. It was funny because for some reason when I think of that movie and it's, Jack, I think of the movie where the killer snowman. Do you remember that movie?
The movie Snowman,
Is it called Snowman?
the one with Magneto.
I don't remember. That's the thing, because I don't want to say it's Snowman because there's another movie. Jack Frost is the one where the dad comes back and
That's
he's the
definitely got horror. No.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be wrong and say the wrong freaking name again because I've been doing that. The Crazies was a good, cool, scary movie.
Yeah, because that's everybody in L.A.
The 405.
You
But okay.
took your bird.
What are you doing here?
So yeah, we've hit the 2 hour mark, and I'm over here messing up everything. Shawn, before we do let you go, we're gonna go. We always plug in everything, but you're always gonna be the first one to plug in. So I'm gonna focus on you. So plug in what you gotta plug in.
Just hit me out, man. Find me at Big Clutch. You can find me on eBay Live. You can find me on Whatnot. Going to be at New York Comic Con if you're around. We're dropping an awesome Transformers #1 variant from Maria Wolf with Soundwave on there. So come check us out. It's gonna be good stuff.
When is it?
Discount code?
When is New York Comic Con?
October
New
13th.
York Comic Con is October 12th. Yeah, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay, Greg, you'll be next.
Shawn, I did not. I'll get those. I promise.
Trust the fucking process. That'd be awesome.
How about
Greg.
you there, Greg?
Yes, you can find me on all social media at I Like Collectibles. I'll have a all spawn sale on Whatnot Friday. I think Friday afternoon. I have to relook and see what time I was at. I think it's Friday around noon Eastern Standard Time. But you can find me pretty much on any platform: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at I Like Collectibles.
Yeah, man, you guys should check out his stuff. He's our official numbers guy. We like that guy, Greg. Well, party people, you know me. I sent Shawn. I sent you a friend request on IG. So
Yes,
it's going to be from Dracula's Wolf. Anyways, you can find me on IG. You can find me on Facebook. The comic page on Facebook. Me and Dale are admins in there, along with Sapienza and Palms and Cody. Everybody, we're just going there, have a good time. We buy, we sell, we promote your stuff if you want to sell some stuff, and we just like to make the community good. So if you guys want voiceovers, you know where to find me. I've been doing a lot of voiceovers for some live sales on Instagram for their reels. So if you need me, I'm there. Other than that, I always say, be good, don't be a douche, and let's have some fun in this community.
Don't be a douche. I was watching Sasha's party the other day. So you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, as you know, me, Dell, Culinary Comics. I've been running the comic menu page on IG. I am the admin with Caesar on the comic book page. I'm also admin at Epics. I'm also an admin on Runs. I'm an admin in South Texas Comic Con. I'm actually admin on a few other pages. I can't remember all of them. I'm everywhere and anywhere. People always hit me up if you have questions. I'll try to get the answers for you. I'm trying to help out some people with. Oh, actually, if you're a seller and you want to be on an exclusive, hit me up. I actually have one with Image. They just reached out to me today. If y'all want to be part of it, so just hit me up, guys. I'll see what I can do and introduce you to the right people. We got people like Big Clutch over here. He has connections more than anybody else. He's got to hit the 405. Go down. I can't do it. But anyways, next week we do have Ivan. Yes, we have Ivan next week. That's be a good show. We are going to drop our new logo next week that Ivan's doing. So I can't wait to see what it turns out to be because he's a phenomenal artist. We are going to have Big Clutch again now that he has more free time. We're either going to bother him a little bit more.
Anytime. 6 months from now, though.
6 months from now, though. Hey, that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. But
you guys are busy. You guys are busy.
No, we're booked, man. Like I said, next week.
We know that everybody's be busy. I had to book around everybody. I couldn't book out many people because of New York Comic Con because they're going to be busy the week of, the week after. So I try to okay, we can't book that person here. I try to make it work as much as possible. We are going to have somebody that I know you're gonna know, because not because you're old, because I know you like good content on sitcom. After we go off live, we can tell you. But it's a surprise guest. We're real fun. Caesar got him, so it's been real cool. With that being said, guys, see you later. See you next week. Be good. See what we can do. Bye.
Yeah. See you next week.